there are two reasons why I was attracted to plant science. First, I was living with my sister in rural areas where I had the opportunity to witness farmers harvesting a diversity of crops to feed their families and for their income. This triggered, interest in me, to pursue a teaching career in agriculture to educate young children in the rural areas on better management of farms. Second, as a cultural exchange between the Ethiopian government and the government of the United States, the American embassy used to show movies on large screens in an open field in the evening to young people and also urban dwellers. One of the movies that I watched was about the Alamaya College of Agriculture, which was supported by the Oklahoma State University. In this movie, they highlighted excellent teaching and research facilities and also very attractive lifestyle of the students. This situation has prompted me to join the Alamaya College, and I was attracted to the plant science department where crop research was prominent at that time. When I graduated from plant science, I joined the Ethiopian sorghum improvement program where I was taught the art and science of plant breeding by the leader of the program, which are similar to the breeding approaches that I have been implementing in maize. When I joined IITA, it was 1996. The average yield of maize in Africa at that time varied from 1.5 to 2 tons per hectare, with 70% of the production being taken care of by smallholder farmers under rain-fed conditions, which exposed the crop to a recurrent drought, erratic rainfall, endemic diseases, insect pests, and parasitic plants. And at the same time, the smallholder farmers who were producing maize at that time were used recycled seed and also less inputs. And the adoption rate of hybrids was less than 30%, which resulted in low productivity. These challenges encouraged me to see the opportunity so that I can develop, high yielding, stress resilient, and also nutritious maize varieties that can be shared, to farmers and the private sector. First, let me dwell on the breeding approaches. Most of the traits of economic importance in maize are controlled by complex genes, and we have been using a variety of conventional breeding approaches to develop stress resilient and at the same time high yielding and also nutritious varieties. To accelerate the development of such varieties, we had extensive partnership with Summit and the advanced research institutions in the US, Australia, UK, which allowed us to integrate, modern tools and techniques into our breeding program. So the significant breakthroughs that we have had over the years, I would say, involves, the development, release, and commercialization of 89 maize variety, stress-resilient maize varieties and hybrids, and 37 provitamin-enriched maize varieties and hybrids in 11 countries across sub-Saharan Africa. In addition, we have been successful in combining natural herbicide resistance with native genetic resistance to striga for controlling the weed using herbicide seed treatment. We have also worked extensively to breed maize, for resistance to aflatoxin contamination. In the last 18 years, the total certified seed production in Benin, Mali, Ghana, Nigeria reached nearly 470,000 metric tons, which covered an estimated 19 million hectares and benefited over 47 million households. We also had been very successful in terms of replacing older varieties with the new ones. And over the years, based on the studies that we had, using the certified seed production, we were able to drop the age of the old varieties from 18 years to 11 years by 2024. So these are really the achievements that have been made over the years. And with regard to the story, I have really two stories that I would like to tell. One is, I have been working with Babangona farmers, agricultural franchise that involved over 31,000 farmers from 2013 to 2017. We supplied them with drought-tolerant and stress-resistant maize variety. They planted the seeds in the farms ranging from 0.1 hectare to 9.1 hectare, and 79% of the farmers harvested between 3 to 7 tons of maize grain per hectare in their farms. I was also involved, in a project which was funded by the CIDA Canada, with a focus on the southern Borno state. The project focused on introduction of range of improved technologies, to farmers in that state. The introduction and successful adoption, promotion of drought-tolerant and striga-resistant early and intermediate maturing maize varieties across 3 agroecological zones in the project target area resulted in 77% adoption by the end of the project. And that area at the moment, it was not a maize production area, but at the moment, that area is still the major maize production zone in the state. And we have even succeeded in establishing a private seed company which was run by a woman. And the company is still viable. So those are really very vivid examples that I feel proud about in that state. In terms of adoption, there has been really a phenomenal adoption in Nigeria. I can, for example, say that we conducted a study using molecular markers and found that 67% of the varieties grown by farmers are originated from IITA, which is a huge achievement. So the farmers, once you show them the importance of varieties, you know, and their attractive attributes, you know, you don't have to preach the gospel, they will take it and use it. The breeding for resistance to diseases, insects, pests, and parasitic plants, and also tolerance to drought stress and heat stress is very complex. So the first thing that we did is, you know, we established screening breeding facilities so that, you know, we can accurately select the best products that come, you know, from the breeding program. And we also utilized the diverse germplasm coming from all over the world, not only from our program, but also from Mexico, the United States, Thailand, and from other regions. We have utilized that. And number three, we utilized, you know, both the conventional and also the modern molecular tools to incorporate resistance or tolerance, you know, to these stresses into adapted germplasm. And lastly, we had been sharing, you know, those stress resilient materials and also nutritious materials with our partners so that, you know, they can test, verify, and run with them. The toughest challenge we have encountered over the years are one, you know, the seed system, the support that the government has to provide to establish a strong seed system. And you know, when we talk about the seed system, the policy environment should allow the establishment and successful flourishing of the private sector. If the private sector flourishes, you know, there would be no problem of producing and supplying good quality seeds to the farmers. So some of the policies that have been followed in the past, now, you know, the governments are getting responsive. They were very rigid, you know, they were concentrating using parastatal organizations to produce seeds and supply, you know, to the farmers. But through time, with all this liberalization initiatives, now, you know, the private sector is becoming more and more important. The second, you know, most challenging thing for us is, you know, the national agricultural research systems have not been supported with adequate funding by the national government. That really has diminished their capacity to establish a long-term breeding program. And up to today, we have been marching, you know, for the continual, you know, provision of adequate funds, you know, to the national programs, so that they can stand on their feet and continue to develop, you know, adapted varieties to their environments. In most instances, they rely, you know, on these short-term donor-funded projects, and those projects will not allow you to have a long-term breeding or research program. So I hope these challenges will be resolved in the future. Maize breeding in Africa has really made a tremendous strides, you know, across the continent. You know, maize was introduced as a backyard crop, and now it is the most prominent food crop across sub-Saharan Africa. That transformation happened because of its capacity, you know, to produce high yields, and at the same time there are also so many other desirable attributes. And it has been over the years, from the 16th century up to now, over the years our ancestors have incorporated maize as part of the diets of the people. And now it has established, people really consume it as a source of nutrients. And at the same time, it has also the propensity to contribute to the industry, for cornflakes, other, industrial uses. And at the same time, Nigeria is the biggest importer of poultry feed. Maize has a huge place in providing, feed for the poultry industry, which is growing everywhere in Africa. So when we look at the prospect of maize in contributing to overall development of the continent, I see there are two things. One, its production potential will definitely supply enough food, to the growing population, and it also supplies grain, to the growing need in the industry and also poultry feed. And at the same time, because of its high production potential, it may even allow the countries to reduce the amount of area that's allocated to maize so that they can plant something else for dietary diversity. I'm most proud of 3 varieties. There are so many. When you have so many babies, it's difficult to choose. But among the varieties that have been released in many countries, I am proud of 3 varieties. The first 2 are striga resistant and drought tolerant, which are called Samas 15 and Samas 51, released in Nigeria. And the third one is a provitamin A enriched variety, which is called Samas 52. And these 3 varieties together represented 58% of the total 60,000 metric tons of seed that was produced in Nigeria in 2024, which planted nearly 1.4 million hectares in 2025. So that is one. And the second one that I feel proud about is my contribution to the reduction of the time of replacement of older varieties, which has dropped from 18 years to 11 years. These are the 2 prominent contributions, I would say, that I am proud of. I will say, the young breeders who are coming into this field, they are blessed to have, an environment with a tremendous potential for transformational impact on productivity and also resilience of farming communities. They have, that. I also will advise them to embrace both conventional breeding and cutting-edge tools to develop stress-resilient, nutritious, and high-yielding varieties, and share them, with the private sector, for greater impact. The third thing that I would suggest, to the younger generation of people is producing and developing of the varieties is not an end in itself. You got to link the development of the varieties with producers and suppliers, primarily, the private sector, for bigger transformational impact, they need to also focus on publishing the work they have done so that the next generation of people will also benefit from what they left. I'm sure we have published a number of papers which would be used, by the new generations of people, and they should also do the same, when they come on board.